Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Adam.
Coming up on today's episode, we get in the Valentine's Day mood by discussing our Fab 5 Disney Dreamboats. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Adam Candy Heart Hummel.
Like me, question mark?
Maybe is my heart response.
That's a fair response. I understand that.
Mm-hmm. It's like a magic 8-ball of candy hearts.
Truly, it truly is. Patrick, conjugal visit Kazuki.
That came out of nowhere, but I appreciate it.
That did come out of nowhere. It popped into my head. Why am I in prison? Because I love too much. That's why.
Okay, fair. I just need to lower your expectations. I will not be visiting you with a conjugal visit, but maybe just a friendship visit.
A friendship visit with a cake and a shiv in it. You can just slide it through that little door they have in the windows.
Yeah, I'm still in old-timey circumstances, so I'm going to give you a file because I'm assuming you're behind bars specifically.
And it won't be in a cake. It'll be somewhere tucked up inside your body.
Nope. You have me confused with somebody else.
Isn't that how you celebrate Valentine's Day?
It used to be, but I'm a changed man.
You've really softened yourself. I remember the days, people back in the day, old PK here, used to tuck files up in his body. It was like a guessing game. Where's the file?
Wow, none of this is true. I usually love improv, but this is very uncomfortable for me.
How are you doing, Patrick?
Well, not great anymore. I was doing fine, but now I'm nervous, I guess.
Don't be nervous. Everything's fine. Why did I bring up the file thing? You're past that now.
Never was in it. It was never in me either. Beyond that, I'm doing well. Had a good spin class today, a Year of Yes spin class, and some meditation. I'm feeling good. How about you?
Before I get to me, I need to ask, what does a Year of Yes spin class mean? Do you just scream yes the whole time you're doing it?
I mean, sometimes, yeah, absolutely. Actually, for Peloton, Shonda Rhimes sort of curated an 8-week course of spin classes and meditation and weight training, and it's really inspirational. And today was one of those spin classes. It was really fun.
Does one of the classes require you to be attached to someone via a pole that's tied the two of you together? Do you remember that episode of Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, I do not, but boy, this episode is all over the map today.
Hey, it's ABC. We're in the clear.
Are we moving on from that now? Is that safe?
We'll move on, but diehard Grey's fans, you know what I'm talking about. That episode, I think it's season 2, that horrific train accident with really tragic consequences.
Okay. All right. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing fantastic. I am slowly working my way through Grey's Anatomy.
Okay. Now it all makes sense.
Doesn't it, though? Other than that, oh my gosh. I mean, talking about the weather seems so basic, but Patrick, it's like -2 here right now, so it's nice to be kind of tucked away talking about Disney at some point.
At some point, I'm only hoping. I don't know what to expect anymore from this rocky start. That's right. It is. It's going to be a high of 1 today here in Minnesota, a balmy 1 degree.
That's right. So bundle up. That's what I'm going to say.
Bundle up, celebrate Valentine's Day all week, and let love keep you warm.
Oh my gosh, Patrick, for Hallmark.
That's right.
And you already said it, Valentine's Day, so we have to talk about it. Patrick, this week is Valentine's Day. What are your Valentine's Day plans?
I have no plans, Adam. I'm not sure if you know, but there is a coronavirus running rampant out in the world. So I will be staying home and maybe having dinner and watching a movie. That's about it. What about you?
That sounds like a perfect Valentine's Day. I mean, aside from the whole COVID thing, I love staying in. I love getting cozy, having dinner, watching a movie. Probably the same, honestly. We have no plans either, but we'll think of something.
I don't know. This maybe sounds like a curmudgeon thing to say. I've never been a big Valentine's Day person. It's just not been a holiday that I care so much about.
I get it totally. I think a lot of people feel that way. It is like what? Like a heart-shaped box with candies in it or a stuffed animal or flowers. Is it necessary? No. But you know what? Tell the people you love that you love them regardless of the holiday.
There you go. There you go. Make every day Valentine's Day, everybody.
If I don't get a stuffed bear holding a heart every day, I'm going to be very upset.
I will take note of that for sure.
Also this week, Patrick, on February 12th, the start of the Lunar New Year.
Indeed, it is February 12th, the year of the ox. Is that correct?
That's right, the year of the ox. I prefer my Lunar New Year's animals to be more rambunctious. I like a monkey or a pig.
Who's to say an ox can't be rambunctious? Maybe it's an ox in socks.
There we go. Very Seussian of you.
That's right, an ox in socks who loves to eat locks.
In a box.
Look at you rhyming.
My brain is working overtime to think of other rhymes with oxes. I'm going to move on. But what I do want to say, Patrick, is that it's so sad that this year Disneyland won't be able to celebrate their Lunar New Year celebration.
Indeed, it was always really fun to watch what they came up with costume-wise for the celebration.
Costumes, food, drinks, meet and greets, parades. Someday I would love to experience it.
I feel like they do have some Spirit jerseys out right now that are celebrating this year's Lunar New Year. So check out those on Shop Disney.
So you're saying you can get in the spirit.
You can get in the spirit, ... jersey.
So happy Lunar New Year to all of you out there. Hopefully next year we'll all be able to get together and celebrate in DCA.
I can feel it. It's going to happen. And speaking of celebrations, Adam, let's celebrate some of our Tweedledees. As per usual, they have sent us some delightful feedback from last week's episode, our take 2 of The Princess and the Frog.
Memories. That was such a fun episode, a great kind of welcoming to Black History Month, and a great review of a fantastic Disney movie.
Such a good movie. Such a good movie. First off, we have Jeff on Instagram writing to us at Jeff Rifle. Jeff says, OMG, you guys. First, I absolutely love The Princess and the Frog, one of my favorites. The visuals, the soundtrack is fantastic, and the Tiana takeover of Splash Mountain has me so excited. Hopefully leading to a restaurant, beignet stands, and a Lewis-led jazz band performing in New Orleans Square nightly in Disneyland and Port Orleans in WDW. That's Walt Disney World, folks. At least that's my wish list. Jeff, mine as well.
I love the idea of a Lewis-led jazz band at Port Orleans and Walt Disney World. That sounds like a fun night.
Super, super adorable. I would even want one in the Grand Floridian, just to take over one of those nights where the usual band is. Have Lewis come out and go to town.
Next up, we heard from our friend John, who you can find on Instagram at john.marcel. And John, Patrick, believe it or not, sent us a voice memo.
Amazing. I love voice memos. We haven't had one in so long.
John took it upon himself to share where you can find Tiana on Disney Cruise Line. We didn't even mention Disney Cruise Line, Patrick.
So sensible. Of course, John knows all about Disney Cruise Line.
He sure does. He's the host of his own podcast called the Sailin' Whalin' Podcast. And it's really a deep dive into the life of a cruise ship performer.
True story. And we had him on our podcast way back on episode 91 of Gaze Do the D.
That's right. So if you want to learn more about Disney Cruise Line and specifically what it means to be a cast member on a Disney Cruise Line ship, listen to episode 91. And here is John's voice memo.
Hey boys, it's me, John. I just finished listening to your Tiana episode and absolutely loved it. I'm literally sitting in my car right now. I mean it when I say I just finished listening. And man, oh man, do I love me some Tiana. #justice for TT. But I do want to chime in on some things that I know that you may not be the most versed in, and that is cruise line and some of the other parks, international and Disneyland. I know you know a lot about Disney World, but don't frequent Disneyland as much. I'll start there. Not only is Tiana heavily featured in the RAP Mickey and the Magical Map sequence at the end of that show in this beautiful riverboat fanfare, it's stunning. But back when the movie first premiered, there was a cavalcade out through New Orleans Square, down the riverfront, wrapping around the rivers of America, and the cast of performers made their way onto the Mark Twain riverboat, which then, while the music and the fanfare still continued, made its way basically downstage center and parked. And the entire show sequence took place on the ship. And there were appearances by all the characters. Dr. Facilier was even there. And pre-selected guests from the park were already on the ship and given, I believe, tambourines or something to that effect and gospel robes for like the grand finale. So it was this wonderful performance. At the end of it, the riverboat finished its lap around the rivers of America, and then there was even more cavalcade as the cast left. It was wonderful. It was an environmental piece. It was so great. You were just surrounded by this wonderful music, this wonderful entertainment, and a portion of that modified for the small screen was even included in the Christmas Day Spectacular, or whatever they call it, that they film at Disneyland and Disney World every year, featuring Anika Noni Rose herself. And I'll use that to jump to the ships. Anika Noni Rose is also currently featured in Golden Mickey's. I can say with confidence on the Wonder, but I also believe on the Dream. She's there as a guest presenter for a Golden Mickey for Friendship, but also on the Wonder in the recently revamped version of the Golden Mickeys. There is this beautiful montage of 3 different songs from The Princess and the Frog, and this huge, larger-than-life production number. There's Tiana, Naveen, Charlotte, and even an appearance by Louis and Mama Odie. They're all there, and it's just high energy. It's kind of like the climax before we start making our way to the finale. So that can be seen on the Wonder. The Fantasy and the Dream have this beautiful Princess and the Frog montage in Disney's Believe. But I was thinking of you guys immediately when you were talking about this idea for a Tiana restaurant speakeasy. Well, that exists more or less on the Wonder. Tiana's Place is a restaurant that's there all day, every day for the guests to have their dinner rotations through. And Tiana is there every night with a live band with some special appearances by Louis, depending on your dining night. And if it's a cruise where you have more than one seating at that restaurant, the second night is Mardi Gras night, and there is a Mardi Gras parade. Everyone gets beads. There's lots of fun and festivities. And now that the ship, when sailings resume, calls New Orleans home on occasion, it's just this perfect tie-in. They've revamped part of the ship's interior to fit more of a New Orleans vibe. So it is a fantastic ship to cruise on if you love The Princess and the Frog as much as I clearly do. The Disney Wonder is the ship you want to cruise on. And last but certainly not least, Hong Kong Disneyland in the sister show of Mickey and the Magical Map, which is Mickey and the Wondrous Book. There is this, I cry and get goosebumps every time I see it, live or on YouTube. There is a Tiana dream sequence, and it's her on her wishing star singing this beautiful, melodic, toned-down version of Almost There as if she were wishing, and her wish comes true in this dream sequence. And it's live production, but in the style of that very like Art Deco, Art Nouveau, whichever it is, animation style from the movie, but come to life with these dancers, and they give her a stand mic, and she just stands downstage center and sings her face off, and then it kind of all just like disappears, and she's almost there. And she wraps up that dream sequence beautifully, and she's just there in her little waitress outfit with her little apron, dreaming. There's a live trumpet player. It's incredible. So I implore anybody who's interested in seeing more, check all these options out. I'm sure there's videos galore on YouTube. And yeah, thank you so much for focusing the spotlight on her this week and the movie. I know nothing I'm talking about has anything to do with the movie. But yeah, there's some more Tiana options for anyone who's a fan. Thanks so much for a wonderful episode. I can't wait to listen to next week's. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you, John, for all of that amazing info. Yeah, Disney Cruise Line, Patrick and I have not had the pleasure yet of taking a Disney cruise, but when we do, I would love to check out that Tiana dining experience.
Yeah, what a wonderful wealth of information that was. I for sure want to hop on that Disney Wonder now, and I totally forgot that they have that new port in New Orleans, so that is a fantastic, fantastic idea.
Yeah, take a little trip down to New Orleans, take a little Disney cruise. Only eat beignets.
That would be my plan regardless of where I am.
That's fair, Patrick. That's fair.
Thank you so much for all that information, John. Be sure to check him out. Once again, he's on Instagram at john.marcel. And last but not least, in our feedback from The Princess and the Frog, we have Gustavo, who's writing to us on Instagram at bishop_Mora. Gustavo says, thank you for your take 2 of The Princess and the Frog. Definitely one of my favorite Disney movies. The end credit song, Never Knew I Needed by Neo, was our wedding song. And although the song is not spoken of much, it perfectly depicts the story of Tiana and Naveen finding love when they didn't know they needed it. I agree with Adam when he said that Tiana finally reached her dream of opening up her restaurant, but now she had someone to share that dream with. I'll add that with Naveen, she would also have her biggest cheerleader as she reached her dream. Great film all around and great review from you guys, especially the information about the movie I didn't know about. Never knew Alicia Keys wanted the role of Tiana.
You can hear the sadness of not obtaining that role in all of her music since the movie.
That's right. She's writing a new album called Songs in the Key of Tiana.
Oh, Alicia, I'm sorry for you.
Not if you give us that album. I want to hear that album.
Next up, Patrick, we've reached the time of year when we need to announce the new recipient for our merch store proceeds.
I love it. I love it. As a reminder, our last organization that we worked with was the cast member pantry. So thank you to everyone who purchased something from our merch store. All of that money was donated directly to the cast member pantry.
And our new recipient, Patrick, is the Okra Project. Do you want to tell the kids at home all about the Okra Project?
I would love to. So the Okra Project was founded by Ian Fields Stewart in 2018. Ian identifies as a Black, queer, lesbian, and non-binary, trans-feminine, New York-based storyteller and activist. And the Okra Project is a collective that seeks to address the global crisis faced by Black trans people by bringing home-cooked, healthy, and culturally specific meals and resources to Black trans people wherever they can reach them. It's an amazing organization. It's been on my mind a lot lately, and they are in need of resources. So I think that we can help them out as much as we can. I encourage you all to either go directly to their site and donate to them, or if you want to buy some merch from us, we are going to donate 100% of those proceeds to the Okra Project.
That's right. You know, even pre-pandemic, this was an organization that was truly helping a lot of people in the community. And so you can only imagine now, in the midst of this crisis, how vital their contributions are to our trans brothers and sisters. You can find out more about the Okra Project by visiting their website at theokraproject.com. And you can also follow them on Instagram and Twitter at the Okra Project.
As we said, they just started in 2018, so they're a fairly new organization, and they were just getting off the ground, and then the pandemic hit, and so they are definitely in need. So check them out, Tweedles out there.
So all of our proceeds from our merch store will be going straight to the Okra Project, and that's for the months of February, March, and April. So head on over to the store at gazethroughthed.com/merch and make a purchase.
Ooh, I like that. Well done. Well done.
I don't know if it was well done, but it was done.
Done.
Exactly.
Well, moving on, Adam, we have a couple of unfortunate announcements to make. We had 2 people in the Disney community pass away recently. One very recently, I believe, on the 5th of February, and one on the 26th of January. First up, I'm talking about Christopher Plummer, who passed away this past February 5th. Many of our Tweedles may know Christopher's voice as Charles Muntz in the movie Up. And of course, he was Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music.
So talented, and if I may, in The Sound of Music, so hot.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
So handsome, so stoic, but then he softens and... Oh, Captain Von Trapp, you really learned who you were.
He Von Trapped you. Von
Trapped my heart. Yes.
Indeed. We should also mention, Adam, he played John Adams Gates in the very beginning of the movie National Treasure, your favorite movie.
My very favorite movie and his very favorite role, I assume.
One can only assume.
We also need to mark the passing of Hal Holbrook. Hal Holbrook was probably best known for his stage portrayal of Mark Twain, which he performed pretty much his entire adult life. But he also has a connection to Disney. He voiced Mayday in Planes, Fire, and Rescue. And he also voiced Amphitryon in the animated classic Hercules that was Hercules' adopted father.
That's right. I remember him as a fairly frequent guest star on The West Wing as well.
The West Wing, Designing Women. He had his own series, Evening Shade, for a while.
I have some evening shade for you, Adam.
Insert RuPaul's Drag Race snake rattle here. So two really kind of giants in the acting community, and both with significant connections to Disney, Christopher Plummer and Hal Holbrook. Thank you, gentlemen, for your work, and specifically for your work in Disney films.
Thank you, gents. You will be missed dearly. Well, this isn't the greatest of transitions, Adam, but they gave us some very historical performances with Disney. So now I'm going to talk about some more history within the Disney community. Are you ready for this week in Disney history?
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
All of our This Week in Disney History segments are related by the date February 8th.
Interesting.
A significant day for Disney, apparently. So starting with the youngest, on February 8th, 2001, Disney California Adventure officially opened its gates, making it the second Disney theme park in California, the sixth Disney theme park in the United States, and the eighth Disney theme park in the world. Michael Eisner's dedication on the day of its opening to the new park read, "To all who believe in the power of dreams, welcome. Disney's California Adventure opens its golden gates to you. Here we pay tribute to the dreamers of the past, the native people, explorers, immigrants, aviators, entrepreneurs, and entertainers who built the Golden State. And we salute a new generation of dreamers who are creating the wonders of tomorrow, from the silver screen to the computer screen, from the fertile farmlands to the far reaches of space. Disney California Adventure celebrates the richness and the diversity of California, its land, its people, its spirit, and above all, the dreams that it continues to inspire."
Ooh, a little homage there to Disney's opening day speech for Disneyland.
A little bit of a hint. I really like that speech. Well done, Michael Eisner.
You know, Disney California Adventure is such a fun park, but probably, at least of the domestic parks, the park that has gone through the most change, I would say, since it opened, right?
Yeah, it's gone through some rapid change. It hasn't been open for that long, historically speaking, for the United States Disney parks, and it has gone through a lot of refurbishments and changes over the years.
So exciting to see what already has happened to that park and what's to come. We still have Avengers Campus opening sometime this year. Really thrilling stuff to look forward to.
That's right. So happy birthday, Disney California Adventure. Moving on, 28 years ago, on February 8th, 1993, a popular sitcom aired an episode that took place in the Disney parks, which launched a sitcom trend called the Disney episode. Adam, do you care to venture a guess on which TV show that was?
Can you remind me of the year?
1993.
1993. So my guess is Full House?
That would be a good guess, but an incorrect guess. I'm sorry to say. Insert wah, wah, wah right there. A very special episode of Blossom was the very first sitcom that started this trend, with the episode called Best Laid Plans of Mice and Men. And of course, as you have mentioned, other TV shows followed suit. Full House, later that same year, Family Matters, Step by Step, Boy Meets World, Roseanne, The Middle, Modern Family, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Blackish, and the list goes on and on and on.
I think Blossom was an NBC show. Was this prior to Disney's purchase of ABC? I don't really know where that falls in the timeline, but it's so interesting to me that an NBC show took the lead when it comes to a Disney episode.
Yes, I believe Blossom was on NBC. I think it was NBC. It was not ABC, but I believe one of the production companies that made Blossom was owned by Disney at the time.
I hope Blossom was wearing, a hat with a giant sunflower on it when they went to the park.
As per usual. And she was tap dancing on top of a piano as well.
Mayim Bialik. I wonder if she still tap dances.
I hope so.
Do you think she tap dances on Call Me Cat?
I don't know what Call Me Cat is, so who can say?
I think very few people do. It's her new show.
Gotcha.
Well, I love it. Blossom. Way to be a trailblazer.
And a tailblazer. You know what I mean? A mouse tail.
I I got it.
Very clever, very clever. Okay, moving on. 89 years ago, Adam, on February 8th, 1932, John Williams was born in Queens, New York. We certainly don't need to go into his entire catalog of contributions, but of course, you basically can't walk through Hollywood studios without hearing the music of John Williams, or Universal Studios for that matter. He has been nominated for 52 Academy Awards, making him number 2 on the list of most nominated people, just behind Walt Disney, who was nominated 59 times. Williams has won 25 Grammy Awards, 7 British Academy Film Awards, 5 Academy Awards, 4 Golden Globe Awards, and 3 Emmys. However, he is not a Disney legend.
What? Disney?
I don't understand the criteria anymore of Disney legends. Or maybe he was just like, nah, I'm good.
He's so weighed down by all of his accolades. He's like, I couldn't possibly take one more.
No, he can't lift that many anymore, especially at his fragile age right now.
Fragile, yes.
It's a soft way to paint it, right?
So delicate.
Well, happy birthday, John Williams. You have given the world some of my favorite scores ever.
Yeah, I mean, the catalog of music there and recognizable music is just bonkers.
Bonkers indeed. Bonkers indeed. Well, Adam, that was this week in Disney history.
Fantastic as always, Patrick. And next week in GDTD history, that didn't make any sense, but I'm going to go with it. We are going to be having Chris from Wishful Thinking back on the podcast. Chris is a fee-free Disney travel planner, and Chris is going to be talking to us about Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. That's right. He's appearing not only on next week's episode, our February 15th episode, but also the following week's episode, February 22nd, because there's just too damn much to cover in one episode.
Oh, very aggressive, very aggressive. Yeah, I like to think he's actually just going to be talking at us about this topic because we have absolutely no idea about any of the magic around Tokyo Disneyland or Tokyo Disney Sea.
No idea. I have a list of questions for him. And Tweedles, you may have questions yourself. So if you do, please send us your questions. You can reach out to us on social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can leave us an email or a voice memo a la John at info@gazetothed.com.
That's right. John has broken the dam. Now let the waters flow forth. We just want voice memo after voice memo after voice memo.
What a real painting you've provided with your words just now.
It's like the ending of Frozen 2, you know?
I do know.
And I'm Elsa on the water horse.
Okay. All right.
My hair is just flowing in the wind, Patrick.
Adam has had some ayahuasca today, apparently, everybody.
I'm seeing some things. I'm feeling some things. It's been a journey, a real emotional journey, but I'm here for it.
Okay. Well, how about you hop off that water horse and journey with me into the news?
There's not much I would dismount from my water horse for, but the news is worthy. Some exciting announcements were made last week regarding projects in development for Disney Plus, and one highly desired addition to Disney Plus's lineup. First, the Disney live-action team is bringing the popular book Aloha Rodeo to Disney Plus. Chris Kakanio-Kalani Bright will adapt the book with David Woolman and Julian Smith. Aloha Rodeo follows 3 Peñolos, or Hawaiian cowboys, who traveled from Hawaii to Wyoming in 1908 to compete in the Frontier Days Championship roping competition. What started off as a novelty quickly turned into a one-sided competition as the Peñolos performed feats that the mainlanders had never dreamed of before. No word yet on a release date for the film. Next, the Walt Disney Company has extended its relationship with Black Panther director and co-writer Ryan Coogler with a 5-year overall exclusive television deal with Coogler's production company, Proximity Media. Cougar is currently prepping the sequel to 2018's wildly popular Black Panther, but has announced that the first project is a television series being developed for Disney Plus, a drama based in the kingdom of Wakanda, Patrick. We're going to get a series based in Wakanda.
That is very exciting news. I think everybody is anticipating that.
Such a big kingdom, so many stories to tell. I can't wait. The deal also enables proximity to develop television for other divisions of the Walt Disney Company. And last, Disney Plus proved last week that anything is possible with the announcement that Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, the 1997 TV movie that stars Brandy and Whitney Houston, is officially coming to Disney Plus. The film will be available to Disney Plus subscribers at the stroke of midnight on Friday, February 12th. According to a February 4th Variety article, Cinderella originally premiered during ABC's Wonderful World of Disney on November 2nd, 1997. More than 60 million viewers tuned in to that televised broadcast of the live-action fairy tale adaptation, which featured Brandy as Cinderella and Whitney Houston as her fairy godmother. The film was hailed as an instant classic for both celebrating diversity and representation through its A-list cast, which includes Whoopi Goldberg, Victor Garber, Bernadette Peters, Paolo Montalban, Jason Alexander, Vian Cox, and the late Natalie Dressel-Reed. The film will join the Disney Plus Celebrate Black Stories collection alongside Soul, Black as King, Black Panther, and Hidden Figures. And Patrick, as I was looking into this story, it was really Brandy who was being pushed by fans to push Disney to add Cinderella to Disney Plus's catalog.
Interesting. I wonder why it was not just always there.
I know a little bit about that. I guess there were some rights issues that hadn't really been cleared up, and it wasn't a very complicated situation, but they just had not dealt with it. And so when Brandy reached out to Disney and said, a lot of my fans are asking for Cinderella to be added, Disney took care of the situation, and now we all have Cinderella to look forward to on February 12th.
Fantastic. I remember specifically watching this movie when it came out.
Me too. Yeah, it was really, really a beautiful production. So vibrant and really exciting. And I mean, Whitney Houston is just a joy. And that last note in Impossible, man. Just keep singing, Whitney.
She knocked it out of the park. And I always want Bernadette Peters as my wicked stepmother.
There's a way we can make that happen. There has to be a pay-for-play situation where she could actually be your wicked stepmother.
All right, Tweedles, you have a project.
Project Bring Bernadette to Patrick.
.com,
yes.
Hey, Alexa, help me sing like Elsa. Pause while everyone's Alexa starts doing a search. Disney has recently added 2 new voice skill programs to their collection exclusively found on Amazon Kids Plus on compatible Echo devices. The first is Frozen Sing. Kids, or Patrick, can pick from 10 songs from Frozen and Frozen 2. If this is your first time in forever singing, Adam, fear not. Each song comes with a rehearsal mode where you can practice by repeating after Elsa or singing with a crowd. Once you're ready to show yourself, see what I did there? You can go on to the next right thing, okay, by selecting Spotlight mode, where you can either sing a full karaoke version without lyrics, or you can sing along with high or low volume lyrics behind you so you're not completely lost in the woods. And if you have an Alexa screened device, visuals will accompany each song. To utilize this, all you have to say is, Alexa, open Frozen Sing.
Patrick, I'm not a trained singer, but I'm going straight to Spotlight.
Fantastic.
I have been compared to Idina Menzel on several occasions, so I feel ready.
Okay. I would prepare yourself to have Randy Jackson's voice come in and say, for me, for you, bro, that wasn't great.
Thank you for your notes, Randy. Apparently, I'm also ready for that kind of feedback, Patrick.
Excellent. Well, moving on, Adam, to a galaxy not so far away, the other new voice skill program is C3PO Translates. Here, C3PO will teach you how to speak like a Wookiee or like a droid. Once you've mastered a few phrases, you'll be able to test your new skills by speaking directly to Chewbacca, R2-D2, BB-8, and more in their native languages. Again, if you have an Alexa screen device, you will be presented with visuals to help learn the phrases and character reactions additions to your skills. To access this program, just say, Alexa, open C3PO Translates. Something to note, you do need to have an Amazon Kids Plus subscription loaded onto your device, which was being offered for free, but now will cost you $2.99 per month for unlimited content. A few other Disney programs included with the subscription are Disney Sing-Along, Disney Trivia, My Disney Story, and Marvel Hero Training.
How is the government going to use all of these Wookiee sounds? Because they're listening in on those Alexas, Patrick. The government be listening.
Gotcha. I want to learn how to say, Alexa, order me some more toilet paper in Wookiee.
I need you to please learn that and then immediately communicate it to all of our Tweedles.
I will have that ready for the next episode.
Thank you so much. It's award season, Patrick, and that means it's time to see how Disney stacks up against major Hollywood players. On February 3rd, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association announced the nominees for the 2021 Golden Globe Awards. The Walt Disney Company combined to earn a total of 25 Golden Globe nominations for 2021, with Hulu Originals leading the charge with 10 nods, as well as the first nominations for Disney Plus since the launch of the streaming service in 2019. The Mandalorian received a nomination for Best Television Series Drama. Walt Disney Pictures' Broadway favorite Hamilton, also on Disney Plus, is nominated for Best Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Lin-Manuel Miranda is among the nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Disney and Pixar's Onward and Soul are both nominated for Best Motion Picture Animated, and Soul received an additional nod for its brilliant original score. To view the complete list of this year's nominees, visit goldenglobes.com. The 78th Annual Golden Globe Awards will air on Sunday, February 28th, 2021 at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Time on NBC. And Patrick, unrelated to Disney, but Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are returning as hosts.
I mean, they've both been in Disney movies.
They have, I guess, related to Disney. You're right. The nominations for the 27th Screen Actors Guild Awards were also announced last week. Disney's live-action remake of Mulan picked up a nomination for Stunt Ensemble in a Motion Picture, and The Mandalorian picked up a nom for Stunt Ensemble in a Comedy or Drama Series. And Daveed Diggs was nominated for Male Actor in a Television Movie or Limited Series for his portrayal of the Marquis de Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson in Disney Plus's Hamilton. This year's SAG Awards will air live Sunday, April 4th at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and will be simulcast on TNT and TBS. Patrick, I am sad to report that we were not nominated for anything.
I am not surprised. I won't lie to you.
Next year? Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. I am surprised, however, that Onward was in 2020. I assumed it was in like 1987.
It does seem like decades and decades ago.
Oh, boy. Well, moving on in accolades for Disney, Adam, Disney has recently earned high praise and accolades for its business practices over the past year. Starting off, Fortune recently released its list of most admired companies, and Disney earned high rankings in a number of categories, including holding the number 4 spot on the list of world's most admired company for the 3rd year in a row. Incidentally, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft earned the top 3 spots consecutively. And for the 18th year in a row, Disney earned the number 1 spot in the entertainment industry category. When rating companies for the Fortune list, companies are not just rated on their success, but on how and where they succeed. Disney earned high marks on quality of products and services, global competitiveness, social responsibility, and long-term investment value. Moving on, not only is the Walt Disney Company considered one of the most admired companies, it's also one of the gayest. For the 15th year in a row, Disney has received a perfect score of 100 on the HRC Best Places to Work for LGBTQ equality. To earn this top ranking, companies must check all of the boxes on an extensive list of criteria, including non-discrimination policies, employment benefits, organizational competency and accountability around LGBTQ diversity and inclusion, supplier diversity, public commitment to LGBTQ equality, and responsible citizenship. Disney joins 766 other companies who have earned a 100% score this year. Shantae, Disney's Days.
I love it, Patrick. I love it. I love that HRC score. It is so vitally important for our community, and it just makes our fandom, our passion for Disney that much more validated, I guess. It just feels good. Is that enough to say it feels good?
That is more than enough to say, Adam. That is more than enough to say. No, I know what you mean. I am happy when Disney wins and is nominated for awards on their movies and their TV shows, but I feel like these awards make me more receptive to loving Disney when they're all about how the company operates.
I know I probably shouldn't ask this, but did we rank anywhere on any of these lists?
Well, if you'll remember at the top of the episode, Adam, where you sexually harassed me for about 5 minutes, I think you know the answer.
I'm happy to hear that you only thought it was for 5 minutes.
Well, that's what we edited it down to.
Just in time for Walt Disney World Resort's 50th anniversary, Disney Editions is releasing Walt Disney World, A Portrait of the First Half Century. The expansive, must-have coffee table book paints a robust picture of the Walt Disney World Resort across half a century through diverse and vibrant voices and mostly unseen Disney theme park concept art and photographs. The hardcover book also serves as a treasure trove for vacationers, students of hospitality, artists, and all Disney collectors. Written by Kevin M. Kern, co-author of the 2020 Hyperion Historical Alliance Annual, Tim O'Day, co-author of Disneyland, Then, Now, and Forever, Stephen Vagnini, Patrick, take your pick, and illustrated by Fabiola Garza, Walt Disney World, A Portrait of the First Half Century will be released on September 28th, 2021, and is currently available for pre-order on Amazon for $54. That's $6 off the retail price of $60. And Patrick, it's the #1 new release in tourist destinations and museums guides category.
Ooh, good job.
I was thinking, Patrick, we got to find a way to get these authors on the podcast and talk about this book. It sounds like it's going to be amazing, in particular, all the photographs that had previously been unseen.
I'm super into that. I am upset, though, because I'm going to have to buy it, and now I basically have a coffee table made of Disney coffee table books.
That sounds right on the nose for me. I think you're exactly where you need to be when it comes to coffee table construction.
But now I just need more coasters because I don't want to put my Disney coffee cup on my Disney books. It's just a mess, Adam. It's a whole situation.
You need tiny coaster books.
I do. I need someone to write a small book that I can use as a coaster.
No one steal that idea. We're taking it. Trademark GDTD podcast.
Coffee table, coffee coaster books. Hey, Adam.
Hey, Patrick.
You know, it's February. We were talking about Valentine's Day is just around the corner. And I'm thinking, what a better time than now to have a segment where we just objectify hot people only for their visual appearance.
I love every single thing you just said. It feels right. It feels like this is the moment. It feels very on brand for GDTD.
Excellent. Very on brand for us. Let's talk all about the hottest people in Disney. What do you say?
Yes. Yes, let's do it.
We're turning steamboats into dreamboats. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I don't really know for sure I know what you mean, but I know exactly what you mean.
I'm making a leap from Steamboat Willie to Dreamboat Willie.
which was Walt Disney's original intent in creating that cartoon short. He knew that one day two gay dudes would be on a podcast and would want to reference that classic cartoon short, but with a spin on it, turn it into Dreamboats and talk about hot Disney dudes or animals, maybe?
Wow, I didn't know that. So we are right on track. We're right on track.
It feels like we're right where we need to be, right down that center lane, yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, Tweedles out there, we are about to reveal to you our Fab 5 Disney Dreamboats. Now, we have conferred with each other prior to recording and prior to making this list that this list includes all of the Disney universe, right, Adam?
That's right. The expansive Disney universe, that giant Disney umbrella. So not only Disney, we're talking Pixar, we're talking Star Wars, we're talking Marvel, we're talking National Geographic.
Sure, why not? We're talking animated or live action.
Human or animal. I mean, I don't know where this is going to go.
Who can say? I guess we can say because we are the list owners and curators, aren't we?
That's absolutely right, Patrick. Before we dive into our lists, I'm just really curious, and I don't need an answer from you. Here's what's on my mind heading into this list. I'm wondering if there are some kind of longtime mainstays on your list that like really kind of caught your eye during childhood and have still kind of to this day been like, that's a really attractive character. And I'm also wondering, I've already brought it up a couple of times, but animals, we talk about anthropomorphic animals on this podcast. Will you have an animal on your list?
I'm not sure how to answer because you prefaced your question with, and I don't need an answer.
So perfect. No answer required. I just wanted to get that out there. Those are the things that are spinning in this tiny brain of mine.
Well, we are about to find out your answers, Adam, unless you don't want me to reveal my list.
Oh, I do want you to reveal your list because this is our feature segment and this is our podcast.
All right. What else are we doing here then, I guess? What else are we even doing here? Well, with that, Adam, shall we jump in to our Steamboat to Dreamboat?
Let's do it, Patrick. My number 5 choice for Disney Dreamboat is the prince from Beauty and the Beast. So not the Beast, but the prince.
Excellent, excellent. You've chosen another character named Adam. Interesting.
Well, that is an interesting story, and I looked into that a little bit, Patrick. Beauty and the Beast, of course, came out in 1991, and the supervising animator for the prince was Glenn Keane. And I, too, Patrick, refer to him as Prince Adam, and I'm like, when did that start? Because they don't call him Prince Adam in the movie. And even Glenn Keane in interviews has said that when they were making the film, they only referred to him as the prince. And so it really kind of originated on this trivia video game that Disney released called, Patrick, get ready for it. It was called The D Show.
Uh-oh.
They released it in 1998. And that's the first appearance of the prince being referred to as Prince Adam. And then Disney has since really committed to it and adopted it. And now, yes, it's officially Prince Adam.
What an interesting story. I did not know that.
I didn't either until I looked into it. But getting back to how hot Prince Adam is, I think he's really hot. I know a lot of people out there think that the Beast is hotter, and I get it. I do get it, but with those like Roman features and that long strawberry blonde hair and those piercing blue eyes and those lips are so supple, Patrick, on Prince Adam. I just had to include him in my Fab 5 list.
He almost looks like a precursor to Hercules, or younger Hercules at least.
That's an excellent point. He really does have that look about him. He's like a kind of more realistic Hercules, if that makes sense, because Hercules is definitely more stylized, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And, he's got that kind of deep V shirt going on, and there's some pectorals there. And he's voiced by Robbie Benson, who also voiced the Beast, of course. So he's got that kind of, deeper kind of voice. It's very attractive.
Yeah, he's got a very princely voice to him, for sure.
Yeah, and I'd like to be Belle in that scenario. I'd like to kiss him and then be encircled in some kind of glowing lasers / sparkling lights and marry him, Patrick. I'd like to marry Prince Adam.
That's the dream. That's the dream. You want him to ring your bell. You know what I mean?
Yes, please. Adam for Adam.
Well done. Well done there.
Thank you. Would you come to our wedding?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you invited me, I don't know. Is that an invitation? I'm not sure what that was.
I think I'd like you to be in my wedding party is what I'm saying.
Got it. Got it. Yes, I will be the matron of dishonor.
Oh, Patrick, yes, but dressed up as human Mrs. Potts.
Nope, dressed up as Teapot Mrs. Potts.
Okay, well, I mean, we'll have to have a conversation about that. I definitely have some ideas about what my wedding's going to look like, but I'll take it under consideration.
Those ideas are out the window as soon as you invited me.
So that is my number 5 choice, Prince Adam. He is absolutely a Disney dreamboat.
Yes, indeed. An excellent choice. A romantic choice, even.
Yeah, who am I? Romance? What?
Get out of here with that.
This is supposed to be less about that and more about just who's, hot.
Who do you want to bang? That's what it's about.
Thank you for saying it. I was trying to work around it, but I'm glad you went there for both of us.
That's right. Bang those pots. Bang those pots, everyone. Well, that brings me to my number 5, Adam. Now, I've categorized my dreamboat list a little bit, Adam. I sort of took from 5 different categories, and the first category for me is animated non-human.
All right, here we go. I was wondering if it was going to happen. Thank you for not answering it before. Honestly, these words cannot escape your lips fast enough. Patrick, go.
Like the scene in Bridesmaids where she poops in the street. It's happening. It's happening.
We all have, right? I mean, we all have the animated animal who kind of does it for us. It's natural.
Well, I don't know if it's natural, but here we are. Here we are. So I selected Robin Hood from the 1973 film Robin Hood.
Yes, Robin Hood, of course.
Such a, I need a minute, I feel like. But Robin Hood was voiced by the late, great Brian Bedford. Now, first off, I'm not sure if there's a better hero aligned with my values than what you'll find in Robin Hood. He basically stops the spread of the super wealthy, which I'm super into, to build a stronger middle class. I mean, what's sexier than that? Building a stronger middle class.
That's why I'm so attracted to Bernie Sanders.
Fair enough. He's also very athletic. Adam, he's great with kids. He's a romantic, and he works with the community, and he fills out that green cloth shirt oh so perfectly. And Adam, he wears no pants. So, I mean, this is checks off all the boxes for me.
No pants under that tunic, none at all.
Nope, none needed. He's literally Foxy AF. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, Foxy AF. Did you grow up having a crush on Robin Hood in the animated cartoon?
100%. 100%. I feel like Robin Hood, the animated fox, was like the opening of the door to gay Patrick.
And I'm so happy to hear that your relationship with him continues into your adult life.
Absolutely. It's been the longest relationship of my life, for sure.
Have you had the opportunity? I mean, is he even a meet and greet in the parks? Have you had the opportunity to meet him?
I have not. I believe he is a special pop-up appearance kind of a character for very special occasions, but I have not seen him in the parks.
He'd give you a pop-up appearance.
Oh, I mean, in very specific places.
I think a lot of our Tweedles probably feel the same way that you do. I think a lot of them would have crushes on Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah. He's a bullseye for me.
I'm delighted to hear it. And, I applaud your bravery in including him on your list. He's an admirable character, obviously. But you know what? To give a voice to your desire for an animal is admirable, Patrick.
Well, it's the year of yes, Adam. It's the year of yes. So there is no shame. There's no shame in my game.
Fantastic. I love it so much. What a great way to kick off your list.
Start off with a bang. That's what I always say on dates.
With a bang, we're moving on to my number 4 choice for Fab 5 Disney Dreamboat. And I've chosen another human. I'm sorry to report it, but it's another animated human. And that is Dr. Joshua Strongbear Sweet from 2001's Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
Ooh, now I imagine this character is on many people's lists.
I would hope so. I mean, or maybe not. Maybe I want him all to myself. He's so massive and kind of burly, but also obviously very, very smart and very kind of nimble. And I mean, a doctor. I could do worse than a doctor, right?
I mean, you should be so lucky.
I should be so lucky. He is the medical officer on the Ulysses. And Ron Husband, Patrick, was actually the supervising animator for him. And Ron Husband, I learned, was one of the first African-American animators at Disney.
Oh, fun fact.
That is a fun fact. I love this character so much. He's not a major player in the film at all. And in fact, there's these kind of allegiances that are drawn in the film at a certain point, and you are uncertain about where he's going to fall, but he is a good guy, it turns out. And he's voiced by Phil Morris, who currently plays Silas Stone / Dr. Cowboy in Doom Patrol. But I think a lot of people will recognize that actor from Seinfeld. He played the attorney, Jackie. He was even in the finale of Seinfeld. He was kind of like the Johnny Cochran-esque style attorney in the series.
I've got to revisit this movie, I feel like. I think it's one of those underrated or forgotten Disney movies that deserve some more attention. So if nothing else, I appreciate you highlighting the attractiveness that I can expect from rewatching this movie.
Again, a very deep cut, unbuttoned, really, button-up shirt. And there's massive pecs there, massive arms. You even see a bit of nipple at one point, Patrick, and I'm not complaining.
Oh, titillating.
Bald, beautiful. If he was British, he would tick off all 3 boxes: bald, beautiful, and British. But alas, he's not. He is so handsome, so massive. I'm distracted by it, Patrick.
You are, I can tell. It's fun. It's fun to see over Zoom how lustful you are over this animated character.
That's not the first time I've heard that over Zoom.
Today.
Not even today. Nope. So that's my number 4 choice, Dr. Joshua Strongbear Sweet.
What a sweet choice.
Super sweet.
I love it. Well, let's move on to my number 4. Category is animated human.
All right. So we're taking a step away from the woodland creatures, the hot woodland creatures, and we're moving into the animated humans.
Exactly. I am going with David from 2002's Lilo and Stitch, David the Surfer.
I should have known he would be on your list.
Oh, 100%. Of course he is. David is voiced by the delicious Jason Scott Lee, who we've talked about many times before. He also played Bori Khan in the most recent live-action Mulan, and Jason Scott Lee can also get it. I'll tell you what.
So it would be fulfilling a double fantasy. You could be like, talk to me as David, talk to me as Jason. Now I want to hear from David. Now I want to hear from Jason.
Yeah. Call me by your name, David, Jason, Scott Lee.
Yep, that's exactly how it would be. Yeah.
There we go. So David has that perfect guy next door situation happening where he's sporty, but he's clumsy, and he's helpful, but he's mysterious, and he has no idea that he looks like a different type of film star. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
And he's also a surfer, so anyone who's a surfer, to me, is automatically like already 8,000 times hotter than they were before when I learned that they surf.
Yeah, what is it about that sport that makes people so hot?
It's that attitude, I think, that comes with it, that carefree, whatever, hang 10, hang out, hang loose, just hang out.
So many hangouts and hangings. And I would imagine, too, it's like there's got to be some incredible legs and butts there because they're kind of squatting on that board. So, and the core, Patrick.
Yeah, it's all about that core. And let's be clear, Adam, his animators knew exactly what they were doing when they drew David and made him basically shirtless all of the time, which is not the case for most Disney men. So they were like, let's give the audience a treat with David, you know?
That's a great point. Yeah, he hates clothes, and we win because of that.
Yeah, he can't be bothered, and it makes me hot and bothered all at the same time. I would be interested in going on a Hawaiian roller coaster ride with David.
Thank you for saying that.
You're so welcome. So welcome. It needed to be said.
It absolutely did. David, yes. That's a movie that I need to give another look at because it is not my favorite film, but David is absolutely just such a highlight for that movie.
Lilo and Stitch is a great movie. Let's be clear. I want to slap you right now for saying that. But yeah, David is a visual highlight. That's for sure.
I can't handle the chaotic nature of Stitch.
He's one of the best.
But David is an excellent choice. Your number 4 choice, such a needed addition to really our combined list now.
I think we're hitting it out of the park so far, Adam.
Absolutely. Our Tweedles must be hot and bothered already.
Send us those pictures.
Oh, no. No.
You can send them to Adam at...
Hard pass. But I'll tell you who I won't hard pass on, Patrick. My number 3 choice for Fab 5 Disney Dreamboats. This one, also a human. What's wrong with me? But I'm venturing into the world of CGI with this one, Patrick.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Getting a bit of that 3D look to him. My number 3 choice is Tadashi Hamada from Big Hero 6.
Yeah. Excellent choice. You can never have enough Ds with Tadashi. You know what I'm saying?
He is, again, so smart. I must have a thing for brainiacs. Although Prince Adam, maybe not so much a brainiac, but Tadashi, definitely a brainiac, because obviously he invented Baymax and he was a student and he worked in a lab, and he was also a good guy because he was Hero's older brother and father figure, kind of all rolled into one. And he was animated by Jason Figliazzi. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he's so, how do I say it? Tall and kind of lean, and really knows how to wear like a suit coat and a baseball cap at the same time. So he's got that business casual, kind of extreme business casual look going on. And I'm here for it, Patrick.
Oh, I'm here for it. I'm there for it. I'm anywhere he wants me to be for it.
And here's where things get a little confusing for me, because he was voiced by an actor named Daniel Henney.
Oh.
Daniel Henney, yes, who plays a character, I've never seen it, but plays a character named Matt Simmons on Criminal Minds. And he also voices Tadashi on Big Hero 6, the series. And Patrick, this actor, Daniel Henney, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is so fine. So I don't know if I'm confusing my feelings and it's really all about Tadashi, or if it's actually about the voice behind the character. But either way, it's a win-win for me. But I encourage all of you Tweedles out there, if you have not looked up, if you have not Googled Daniel Henney, I would give him a Google, because wowie zowie, that is an attractive man.
Looking him up now, and I am stalking him officially stalking him. I would venture to say that they may have animated Tadashi to look a little bit like Daniel.
It seems like that, doesn't it? I mean, they do share a lot of qualities that are very similar. And also, Daniel Henney's voice is wonderful. You feel very kind of reassured by his voice, which is perfect for Tadashi. So there's that element to it too. And on top of all of that, spoiler alert. So if anyone hasn't seen the movie, please just like fast forward about 20 seconds. The fact that Tadashi kind of sacrifices himself, right, and is a martyr and, dies, maybe that plays a role in it too, is that he was so noble that he was willing to do that and, risked his life. And unfortunately, it didn't pay off. But because of it, I feel more attracted to him.
You're into dead people. That's all you need to say.
That was my category for this round. Dead CGI animated characters.
Category is dead.
Yeah. So that's my number 3 choice. Tadashi, give me a call through some kind of medium, I guess, and we'll figure it out. And Daniel, if you're listening to this podcast, absolutely give me a call. You are just so attractive.
Yeah, that's an excellent choice. There's a suaveness that comes with Tadashi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's very confident, and there's that level of sweetness there, and that does kind of combine to create that kind of suavosity, Patrick.
Great word. And there's something delicious about when you see someone who's an older brother be a really good older brother. You know what I mean? It's like that same situation with like hot dads who are really good dads. It makes them even hotter.
Do you want to sing the theme song when you see a hot dad?
I think I know what you're talking about. And here we go. Hot dad with a baby.
That's exactly right.
I forgot that I told you about that.
It's so true, though. When you see a hot dad carrying a baby, are you not just that much more attracted to him?
100%. Hot dad with a baby.
You will hear that frequently if you ever have the opportunity to visit a Disney park with me and Patrick.
Yeah, I sing it about 37 times a day, at least.
It's like a scavenger hunt.
It really is. It's not much of a hunt, though. They're just roaming wild, roaming free.
There's just too many of them.
It's a manfari. You know what I mean? I don't know if that word worked, but here we are. I am not sorry about that, manfari. Oh dear. Here we gotta move on.
Yes, let's move on. Let's hear your number 3 Fab 5 Disney Dreamboat.
Fantastic. I am going opposite of you, Adam. In my number 3 is not the smartest of characters out there, but category is live action Disney. Are you ready?
All right. So live action Disney dummy, is that where we're headed?
Live action Disney idiot. And I'm talking about George of the Jungle, played by Brendan Fraser in 1997.
What a fantastic addition.
Tweedles out there, I implore you all to, as I'm talking, just pull up your phones, Google it, and enjoy the ride, because I know it's cliche and gross, but I'm okay with it for 1997 Brendan Fraser as George of the Jungle, because he is so fit. I don't even care if he has a face, really. His body is so toit.
So toit that he could be headless, and you'd still be like, let's do this.
Let's figure something out. Let's make it happen. He is like the perfect specimen of toitness. He's strong AF, great to look at, as I will keep saying. But here's the thing. George of the Jungle is also very caring and very loving, and he's great with animals, and he's funny, and he's loyal, and he's just a little dumb, and I'm into it.
I love that you assembled that list and ended it with the dumb part, because we all knew it was coming, but you really kind of covered the attributes that are so admirable and really very endearing. I guess his dumbness, though, too, is also very endearing, isn't it?
It's very endearing. And he's got that beachy long hair. Very into that. He's acrobatic, which I'm sure will come in handy at some point in our relationship, you know?
Yeah, well, the Tumble Monkeys aren't going to be performing anytime soon, so you need that kind of athleticism somewhere.
Yeah, and I really want to give a round of applause to the costume designer for George of the Jungle, because, you know, watch out for that tree. You know what I'm saying? Oh, boy.
What were those fittings like?
Probably inappropriate.
Definitely inappropriate. But you know what? When the character calls for a loincloth, that's a costume piece that you're going to have to figure out.
That is a very small costume piece indeed. Boy, oh boy. Well done, everyone involved with George of the Jungle.
That was a moment, wasn't it? When we were, well, you certainly were younger than I was, but of a certain age, for that movie to come out at that moment, I applaud Walt Disney for taking that brave step at that time.
What a real act of bravery for them, for sure.
Is Brendan Fraser a Disney legend?
His costume is, I think.
His costume has received the Disney Legend Award for sure. It was the same year that Annette Funicello received it.
Probably. I think you're right. I feel like we have to move on, otherwise I'm just going to look at pictures of Brendan Fraser as George of the Jungle all day long, which I will be doing after this recording.
There's no better way to spend a super cold Saturday than looking at Brendan Fraser as George of the Jungle.
Just swinging from those vines, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah.
So that is my number 3 of the Jungle.
Fantastic choice. I did not even consider Brendan Fraser, but yeah. Yep. Moving from one kind of muscly meathead to kind of another one. This one is live action also, Patrick, and it's a given. You've heard me talk about this gentleman on the podcast before. I've included Marvel's Thor, played by Chris Hemsworth, as my number 2 Fab 5 Disney Dreamboat.
I had a feeling he would make your list, and I was just waiting in anticipation for where he would be placed.
Again, much like Tadashi and Daniel Henney, who voices Tadashi, I have a hard time separating Chris Hemsworth and Thor, although I think I veer more towards actual Chris Hemsworth than I do Thor. But I mean, I'm not going to kick Thor out of bed for eating crackers with Mjolnir.
Huh. That's a thing you just said.
Just popped out of my mouth. Didn't make any sense, but he is so fit and so funny in the Marvel movies, he really does provide a lot of the comic relief in a lot of the films. And, when he first came onto the scene in 2011 with the original Thor, there was a lot of blonde going there. They were really pushing the blonde. He had like the long kind of straight blonde hair. He had the blonde eyebrows. I don't know if they dyed them or applied them. And he was really massive. Like, that's almost too big, But if you kind of flash forward to like Ragnarok, that's my ideal Thor right there with the short hair. He's a little bit more gruff. He's seen some things, but also still providing the yucks. That's the Thor I want in my life.
The yucks and the yums.
Both. All the flavor sensations, Patrick.
Yeah, Chris Hemsworth as Thor specifically really changed the game when it came to male superheroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it needed to happen that way because Thor, like a movie representation of Thor, which we've seen kind of before. I don't know if it was a movie or a series, but it could get really goofy really quickly, right? Like if it wasn't done correctly. And I think they were so smart in giving him that sense of humor or lack of sense of humor that really kind of sold it, in that they could kind of wink to the audience and be like, we realize that this is ridiculous, but also we're going to take you on a fun adventure with this hot guy.
I like that you went personality with what I was saying. I was actually specifically talking about his body. Like, he changed the game in what superheroes look like in their physique.
Well, that too, Patrick.
I mean, he sort of created a job for someone in Hollywood that this is now the regimen you need to do to be in superhero shape.
The superhero movie trainer, like to get them all jacked up, or in the case of the women too, they also have like that certain look that they need to achieve for these films. And yeah, Chris Hemsworth is a relatively lean guy in comparison to Thor. He must just have to like really bulk up to achieve that kind of look.
For sure. And I'm not here to say whether or not that's a good thing. I don't know that we need to be making superheroes only look one certain way, but here we are.
Well, the good news is that we don't, right? Because like even in Avengers, there's like a ton of different body styles within the Avengers. And going forward in particular, now that we're through that phase with the initial Avengers, we're going to see a lot more different physicalities and personality types. And it's really going to explore different types of characters within a superhero genre.
For sure. And in the meantime, let's just explore Chris Hemsworth a little bit more.
Yeah. And it's on camera. It's in so many films. And we can just enjoy the way that man looks. We can enjoy his performances. And we can enjoy his sense of whimsy he brings to the character. I don't know. I'm really trying to sell it, and I don't need to be selling it so hard. It's Chris Hemsworth.
No, yeah, you're right. He's a real visual achievement, He
is. So that's my number 2 choice, Thor.
Well done, sir. I am going to marvel you with my number 2 choice, Adam. Category is live action Marvel, but I did not choose Chris Hemsworth. I did choose a different Chris. However, I am talking about Captain America, Chris Evans.
Okay, interesting. I was not expecting this from you. I mean, I welcome it, Patrick. I welcome a Captain America reference, but I thought I had pegged down your final 2, and I guess I'm completely wrong.
I'm throwing you for a loop today. Throwing you for a real journey here. But listen, folks, do we need to really talk too much about this? Everyone knows that Chris Evans as Captain America is just a joy to look at. But there are some very specific moments in my journey with Captain America, Adam, and here they are in no particular order. When he holds that helicopter in place on top of the building in Civil War, boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy.
You want to be the helicopter.
No, I want to be his shirt, I think, in that scene.
Okay, so even closer. Got it.
Just hugging desperately to his body. I'm talking about when he chases after the Hydra agent for the very first time in Captain America, and he's running barefoot, discovering his strength along the way, and really filling out that tight white T-shirt.
I'm surprised he threw on the tight white T-shirt. Aerodynamically, it's only slowing him down.
Fair enough. There's something about a fit person in a white T-shirt that is so specifically attractive. I don't know what it is.
Totally agree. I think it's just the simplicity of it all. You can see the shape, but you also have some coverage there. So there's a little bit left to the imagination.
Yeah, you know it's there. Moving on, when he meets Sam Wilson, a.k.a. Falcon, for the first time while out on a run, and he's wearing that tight Under Armour compression shirt. That's a real cinematic moment,
And a real win for Under Armour.
A real branding win for sure, and a real win for me, for the world,
for Stretch Fabrics.
Lord, we pray for elasticity because his body is testing its limits for sure. And we have to acknowledge the scene where he's boxing in the Avengers, and there's that tight shot of him from behind punching the bag, and his glutes are doing some real gymnastic work.
Yeah, that was the very first thing, Patrick, that popped into my mind when you said you were going to call out some specific moments. I have to admit, that was the one that just immediately jumped into my brain.
That walnut crushing butt of his is a real applause-worthy moment as well.
Whoever his trainer was, great job.
Yeah, it gives you a standing ovation without standing up at all, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm talking about clapping. And finally, Adam, in Age of Ultron, where he tears the wood in half, that's just like, oh, I see you, Chris Evans.
He's so frustrated, Patrick.
And I'm so glad that he takes it out on wood. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I mean.
Oh, I don't know. Have we crossed the line here? Is this
several?
Oh.
And that's my number 2, Adam. Captain America.
I think it was genius and at the same time obvious that he is on your list.
Yeah, I think a lot of our listeners are saluting Captain America right now.
Full salute for Captain America. Thank you for your service to our country, and thank you for your service to athletic wear.
Under Armour appreciates you.
All right, well, that takes us to my number 1 choice for Disney Dreamboat. And I hate to be a disappointment, but this is where we're at. I mean, we've been hosting this podcast for 2.5 years now. We've really opened ourselves up to our Tweedles, and I would assume that a lot of them know who I'm about to mention. But if you don't, welcome to who I am, what I'm about. My number 1 choice is, of course, Prince Naveen from The Princess and the Frog.
I love it. I'm glad that you included him because you celebrate Prince Naveen on a daily basis, really.
I do. And it seems foolish to bring him up again so soon after we just covered The Princess and the Frog in last week's episode, but he's worth it, I think, Patrick.
Yeah, let praise be given where praise is deserved.
Thank you. His supervising animator, as we mentioned, was Randy Haycock.
Hey.
That alone makes him my number 1 choice. He was voiced by Bruno Campos, the beautiful Bruno Campos. And what I love about Naveen is that he is a playboy, yes, but he has a very playful spirit, and he is royalty, and he's also very good looking. Like I said in last week's episode, he has a Prince Eric quality about him, but he's much more kind of rambunctious and spirited, I would say.
Yeah, he's sort of Prince Eric meets Aladdin.
Oh, that's a great combination there. That definitely produces a Naveen. And, he is a playboy, Patrick. And as much as I hate to admit it, there's something about those playboys that just really nab my attention.
No, you should never hate to admit that.
Okay, I take it all back. And as we talked about in last week's episode too, he really does look fantastic in that kind of 20s era leisure wear, really, those high-waisted pants and that kind of collegiate V-neck sweater, the newsboy cap, it's all really working for Naveen. And I think the animators really had an opportunity here to play up his physical attributes with that look.
Agreed. Whoever costume designed him knew what they were doing from behind.
Agreed. Yeah, the designer knew exactly how to dress that bod. So, Patrick, Prince Naveen, my number 1 choice. I can't quit you, Naveen. I just can't.
Nor should you. Yeah, that V-neck sweater vest, I guess, is that what he's wearing? That's delightful. It's delightful. And I think there's a different version of it in the Magic Kingdom Castle show. I believe it's more of an Argyle pattern to it, and it's real handsome. It's real cute. I like it a lot.
There's something about that time period, and it seems counterintuitive that you would dress a character in so many clothes and yet you would still be so attracted to them physically. But it makes sense, right? Like there's that element of mystery there, but it's just so stylish and fits so well. It really is a very successful moment, perhaps, and maybe I'm overstating this, the most successful moment in all of cinematic history.
No, I think you're right on the money. We've talked about this before. I love fall and winter in Minnesota specifically because it's sweater weather. And one of my favorite things about a man is when you can tell how fit they are, even under a giant sweater. There's something real great about that for me.
So impressive to be able to pull that off in a bulkier knit.
Right. Yeah. When I can see your cables under your cable knit, it's great. It's great for me.
So great for Patrick. So great for all of us. Patrick, that takes us to your number one choice. And I would like to say I can see this going two ways. I don't know which way you're going to lead us, but I'm all ears, Patrick. Who is your number one Disney Dreamboat?
Well, I will let you know, Adam, that the category is live action Star Wars.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, go ahead and then we'll have a conversation.
Fair enough. I am introducing you to Finn, or FN2187, played by the delicious, the delightful, the dreamboat of dreamboats, John Boyega.
We have objectified John Boyega on the podcast before. I won't apologize for it because he is a beautiful man.
Yeah, no apologies needed. I mean, I don't feel like I need to explain myself here with how much I love Finn or John Boyega, but I will try. Finn is such a layered character. He's got one of my favorite story arcs out there, to go from a stormtrooper to a huge player in the Resistance. He's definitely got some baggage, which I'm kind of into. I'm kind of attracted to someone with baggage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can fix him for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. Also to learn about his past and how he didn't really have a choice to join. And there's just something, just some more baggage peppered in there. I like it. I like a man with some bags. You know what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's also willing to put his life on the line, which is pretty hot. He's quick on his feet. He's inventive. He can run and fight on top of falling ships. I mean, who can do that?
Who can do that? Except a couple of the Marvel characters we've already mentioned. But yeah, also him in Star Wars. And his relationship with Poe. I mean, relationship goals. That was such a letdown. They really should have just gone for it. What a misstep from Disney and Lucasfilm.
Yeah, they need to redo that. That's for sure. We need to put out a petition for that one. He's not only my number one dreamboat today, Adam, but I think he might be one of, if not my favorite Star Wars characters.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, he definitely brought a whole new perspective to Star Wars canon, one that we haven't explored before, which, prior to his character, it had always pretty much been kind of good guys and bad guys. And suddenly we have now kind of a reformed bad guy.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, he's great. He's great to look at. He's a great actor, but I'm talking about Finn, I guess. Finn's not a great actor, but he's a great character. But I know we're talking about separating character from person, but just to touch briefly on John Boyega, and I don't want to touch briefly on him, but I'll try. During this past summer, during the whole, not that it's stopped, but the Black Lives Matter movement, he really stepped up and had a voice in the community, and that was a moment for him, and that upped the attraction factor for me for sure.
You like a man with a megaphone.
I like a man with a message and a megaphone.
Yeah, he's a great choice for your number one. The character and the actor behind the character too. Yeah, great choice.
Hard to separate the two, but here we are, and I want to go far away with him.
Maybe you'll see more of him going forward. Maybe he'll be in a Disney Plus series. I don't know. I know his relationship right now with Star Wars is a little tenuous, but maybe he will take the leap to a Disney Plus series, and we'll get to see more of Finn.
More of Finn and less of his clothing.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said it.
He's on a hot planet that's just covered with hot tubs.
I'm into that.
So, Patrick, I have to ask then, everyone, all of the Tweedles out there, they know what a fan you are of Flynn Rider and Tom Holland, a.k.a. Spider-Man. Didn't make the cut, huh?
didn't make the cut. I tasked myself with only choosing one character from each of these categories, and though I do love them, Adam, let's be very clear, they weren't as high on the list for me as the other people I mentioned who were in those categories.
Do you feel like you're evolving in some way? Do you feel like there is an appreciation for those two gentlemen still, but there's a change happening within you that is drawing you to a different type of character?
Listen, there's always room in my bedroom for Flynn Rider and Tom Holland. The invitation always stands, you know?
Yeah, but now they're just watching.
No, they're participating. That's for sure. They're just joined by more delight.
Okay, so it's not an exclusive list. It's not an exclusive invite, is what you're saying. You have sent out an evite to all of your contacts, and you invite them all to stop by.
Listen, inclusion is very important to me, Adam, on so many levels.
It's so important on so many levels.
So what do you say we talk about? Do you have some also-rans you'd like to mention?
Well, there are a couple that I was jockeying on various positions. It was a tough list to put together, Patrick. When you're limited to 5 names you want to mention, even though you have no direct connection to these characters, obviously because they're fictional and no direct connection to the actors who may be portraying them, it still really hurt to cut a name from my list or to remove them. So I will say on my list at one point was Eric Killmonger from Black Panther.
Yep, he's on my list as well. Michael B. Jordan. Boy, oh boy.
We have talked about him on the podcast too, and he is just so attractive. I think ultimately he made some choices in the film that may have knocked him off my list, unfortunately, but I would like to welcome him whenever he feels like he has redeemed himself.
Had I changed one of my categories to live action villains, top of the list.
Well, when we do our Fab 5 hottest villains, then we know who will make the list. I also had on my list Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford.
Oh, excellent choice.
I still don't really associate him with Disney, even though he is in Hollywood studios and, Disney owns the rights to Indiana Jones. There's going to be a new series coming out, or a new film, rather. But Harrison Ford in his heyday, even till today, he's still so handsome. But in that heyday era, and specifically Indiana Jones, I do love Han Solo as well. But something about Indiana Jones, that look, that kind of adventurer, that, lover and a fighter, he does it for me.
Yeah, I think he's actually hotter as a professor than he is in his Indiana Jones outfit.
That's 100% correct, Patrick. It's just like Superman. For me, Clark Kent is hotter than Superman.
Agreed.
So who else were you considering for your list, Patrick?
Well, as we obviously mentioned, Tom Holland as Spider-Man, but I think he didn't make the list specifically because Spider-Man is a junior, you know what I mean? And that just didn't seem correct. Tom Holland, yes. Spider-Man, not okay.
I get it. I get how that would be a bit of a sticking point for you.
And then Flynn Rider, of course. But again, I think David is just a little bit hotter than Flynn Rider.
Because he's shirtless the entire movie?
Specifically because he's shirtless the entire movie. I also had the cast of Newsies on Broadway, Adam, as an also ran.
Speaking of being inclusive.
All are welcome here,
Would you request they bring their papes with them?
Whatever they need for props and costumes, I'm interested. I'm interested in figuring it out. I also added Colette from Ratatouille as a Disney woman. What a beautiful character. I love Colette.
All right. So we're what? We're exploring things in quarantine?
Listen, it's 2021. It's time to have some, as you say, 2020 fun. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. All spectrums have been smashed. Colette in Ratatouille is doing it for Patrick.
Doing it for me. And then the also ran in the animated non-human category. I had Jake, the Australian kangaroo rat from The Rescuers Down Under.
I have never wanted to watch The Rescuers Down Under more now.
It's a real moment. Also pantsless, didn't need pants for sure. And that Australian accent, it does it for me every time.
That is a major selling point. Again, like Chris Hemsworth, right? Like when he's himself, he has that accent and it is so hot.
Well, I think we've covered quite a spectrum of hotness today.
We absolutely have, but there's more to this story, and that involves you, Tweedles. We want to hear from you. Please reach out to us and let us know who you find just so hot, animated, traditionally, or CGI, live action. You can reach out to us on social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast.
Or you can tell us who Disney does it for you via voice, memo, or email at info@gaysdothed.
If there was ever a time to send a voice memo, it's now. This is the category. This is the time. This is the feature segment. Tell us who's hot.
This is the moment. It might get inappropriate, so we may not play it, but use your best judgment, folks.
And hey, we do have a censor button. Keep that in mind.
We do. We do indeed.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Adam.
We've reached the end of this episode, and boy, did we have a lot of things to say about those Disney Dreamboats. I'm flustered.
Yeah, it got steamy up on her.
My cheeks are just a little red, a little warm, a little swoony.
Don't fall over.
I won't, I promise. It's time for Quick D. And this week, for our Quick D segment, we are going to be doing Disney Thunderdome. It's been a while, Patrick.
It has been a while. It's been like 87 episodes, it feels like.
So many episodes since we did Thunderdome. For those that don't know, Disney Thunderdome, it's really Mad Max style rules. 2 characters enter the Thunderdome, and only one can exit the Thunderdome. That means you're picking the one character that will survive.
That's right. We're going to pop on our Tina Turner wigs and figure some stuff out.
You say that like I haven't been wearing my wig the entire recording session, but I'll let it slide. And speaking of Tina Turner, Patrick, we thought this Disney Thunderdome would feature only female characters, some Disney dames, because we were so male-focused in our feature segment.
That's right. We had our gaze on the male gaze, and now it's time to refocus our gaze to the ladies, you know?
Hey, ladies, indeed. Patrick, I'm going to ask you to go first. I want you to give me 2 female Disney characters, and we're going to let them fight it out.
All right, here we go. Adam, entering the Thunderdome on my left is Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Has she been working out? She looks fantastic.
She does a lot of calf raises these days. Her legs are killer. And to my right, entering the Thunderdome, it's Wendy from Peter Pan.
Okay, I see what you're doing here.
What?
Voiced by the same person.
Uh-huh.
This is a real, is it a battle of the mind at this point? One person, 2 Disney characters.
It's all happening here, folks. This is the moment we've been waiting for.
All right. Well, I think they're both very strong. Each has their strong points. I think they've both been on an extreme emotional journey. They both have seen some things and have probably picked up some things they can use in terms of battle.
Like knives?
Definitely like knives, yeah. I mean, what is Alice hiding in all of that hair?
It's not just full of secrets.
Not just full of secrets, it's also full of cutlery. But you know what, Patrick? I'm going Wendy on this one. I think Wendy has picked up some specific training, some pirate training from her time aboard the Jolly Roger, and she's going to go full on swashbuckler on Alice's pirate's booty.
She's going to get that booty with her fencing skills now, right?
Yeah. I don't think Alice returned from Wonderland completely right in the head. I feel like she's completely discombobulated. It was very upside down for her. She hasn't fully recovered from that experience, whereas Wendy came back from Neverland and she was ready for a fight. And on top of that, I mean, if she can still fly, look out, Alice. Wendy's going to be all over that cage, just really destroying poor Alice.
That's a fair point. Unless Alice breaks out that drink me bottle and gets enormous.
Well, see, now there's a thought. There's an idea. What if she did get enormous? I'm still choosing Wendy. Wendy's from London, Patrick, and she's very street about her approach to things, whereas Alice is from, I don't know, Bath? Where is she from?
I think she's an Essex girl.
She's definitely an Essex girl. She loves to shop, but loves her deals. And that makes her a weaker opponent. Wendy's going to kick her bum.
Fair enough. You heard it here, folks. Wendy is the only one to leave the Thunderdome because Alice has been killed.
I'm sorry, everyone. Alice has expired.
I think she'll be fine, though, because we all know that when she goes down for a little nine-night, she goes to Wonderland. So she'll be fine.
In an alternate reality. Yeah.
Well done. I'll go along with you on this one. Wendy's the winner.
Thank you for backing me up on that, Patrick. It's time for you to choose. It's not easy, Patrick, but I'm asking you to choose between these two very special Disney dames. I'm talking Judy Hopps from Zootopia, and entering from the other side of the Thunderdome is Miss Bianca from The Rescuers and The Rescuers Down Under.
Ooh, excellent choice. Excellent choice. I was going to say both rodents, but is a rabbit a rodent?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just going to call them vermin then instead. They know what they did. They're vermin.
Wow, ladies, what did you do?
I said it. Listen, I'm going to have to assume that Miss Bianca, she's a drinker. We all know she's a drinker. She likes that champs. I'm going to have to assume she's a little wasted coming into this Thunderdome, which I think gives Judy Hopps the upper leg, if you will.
Yeah, there's no fear from Miss Bianca.
She's just sloshing around, slapping cops. No, that was her sister. Never mind.
Oh, great reference, though.
Thank you so much. That would have been so excellent if it had fit correctly.
Still, I give you extra points for tying in the full Gabor experience.
Thank you. I do believe that Judy Hopps comes to the table with a little bit more gumption, a little bit more training, and a lot more handcuffs, which I think makes her the winner. I think this makes her the clear winner of the two.
So you're choosing Judy Hopps.
Judy Hopps for the win, my friend.
You've heard it here, folks. Judy Hopps, all of that training, all of that skill that she has, everything that she's learned, just putting the full smack down on Miss Bianca.
That's right. If you can see it, you can be it, and you can also kill rats with it.
Vermin?
Vermin. That will do it for this episode of Gays Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gaysdothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gays Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gaysdothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.